Today we're going to look at, believe it or not, the first video game I ever played. Way back when I was just a little drawing of a blob thing. Space Quest, Chapter 1, The Sarian Encounter. This game came out in October 1986 and used Sierra's AGI, Adventure Gaming Interpreter. It was a huge hit and sold well over 100,000 copies, possibly over 200,000 to date, earning the coveted SPA Gold Medal from Software Publishers Association in the process, fall 1988. In this game, you'll take on the role of a bumbling janitor, Roger Wilco, who takes a nap in a storage closet only to wake up and find his ship, the Arcata, has been taken over by the dreaded Sarians and set to self-destruct. While this game is old, it's packed with enough gags, twists, and danger to keep you pecking away at your keyboard. If you don't already have it, you're going to need DOSBox to run this. That's available at www.dosbox.com. This is a program which basically gives you a virtual IBM 386 machine to run all your DOS games from. It's easy to use, free, and if you do need help, plenty of videos have been made on YouTube to get your DOS games rolling. Setting aside the technology itself, Space Quest shows a great usage of the technology that was available at the time. I mean, how many PS2 games have you played thinking like, wow, man, they could have made this better? The Space Quest used every available tool like to the max potential. I mean, this game was the best kind of game that could come out at that time. I have to deduct some points for this one puzzle included in Space Quest. Roger's faced with some killer beams that'll slice him into pieces if he tries to cross them. Now, playing this as a kid, me and my brothers could not figure the answer to this out. In fact, none of us got any farther than this in the game, not as kids. The beams are it, no way across. So the solution, as it turns out, my older brother figured out roughly 6 years later, was much earlier in the game when you crash land on the planet Corona. If you examine the broken glass on the escape pod from the outside, you see a highly reflective glass. That's it. That's your ticket item. If you didn't think to look at the escape pod from the outside, you're screwed because you couldn't get to the killer beams without going through this strange elevator at this rock shrine thing. And once you go through it, you're stuck. That's it. There's no way back up. So here you are with these beams and no way to get to your ship to get the glass. You need to move on with the game. One thing you have to keep in mind was a lot of the things you need to know to keep Roger Wilco alive was learned through trial and error. And though that seems frustrating, this was so that you could enjoy all the different colorful ways Roger could die. So I didn't mind a puzzle getting the better of me, but I always felt that there should have been a way to go back to the surface and retrieve the glass to solve the puzzle. I mean, if you didn't figure out the answer until you were there, you were stuck, and you had to start over from the beginning. Space Quest is a classic game. So much that it's still being stolen. It's still being stoled. Well, with abandonware, I guess that's true. It's still being sold in stores today as part of a collection package with 5 other sequels plus a remake of this very game. Overall, I give it an 8.5 out of 10, deducting a 1.5 for 6 years trying to figure out the answer to the silly beam puzzle. Thanks for joining us on Tiger Claw TV. I'm your host, Critical Failure, signing off.